Let me talk to you about how to get a car loan without income proof. So we're speaking about a player of $50,000 all the way to $75,000 without income proof, not a problem at all. So here's an overview I want you to pay attention to. Here, first of all, can you get a car loan if you're unemployed? Let's have a conversation about that. The thing is, yes. I mean, this is a resounding yes. This is not a big deal at all. You can get a car loan if you're currently unemployed. Some auto lenders will approve your loan without current employment, assuming you meet all their other requirements. Okay. So in addition to your employment history, here are some other factors that lenders typically consider. So they will look at your income, they'll look at your credit score, they'll look at your down payments, and they'll look at your cosigner if applicable. Now, one thing I want to say here is that when we speak about income, there is a difference between being employed and income, right? You don't have to have a job to have income, right? You can have passive income, you can have income coming from gigs, whatever. So the thing is, if you don't have proof of income from a job, you probably need to have an excellent credit score and make a sizable down payment to make up for it. And so depending on your credit score and your employment, your job history, you might also need someone to co-sign the loan with you, again depending on the geography from which you are applying. So this is really important. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here to have this quick convo with you about how to get a car loan without income proof. Now, one thing I want to say here is that when we talk about income proof, you need to understand you have let's say you may have a job, but you don't have a steady income. So it is totally possible. I can reassure you right now that you can get a car loan without steady income, not a problem. You can apply for an auto loan with a cosigner. You can actually, the thing is, what you want to do is you want to be in a situation where you are reassuring the lender that, hey, listen, you will have the capacity to repay the loan. So if you don't have steady income, or you have, let's say, you don't have a job at all, you don't have any kind of income, any kind of employment, active employment, it's always important to show the lender that, hey, listen, you will have enough cash to repay the loan. So either you are able to show your bank statements, or you're able to show that you have perfect credit, not perfect, but decent credit, or you're able to show that you can co-sign the loan with a third party, or even using a large down payment. So those are things that can really help you out. So let me talk to you about the steps here. How do you actually get a car loan if you are unemployed? So first thing first, I want you to look around in your entourage, your spouse, your brother, your sister, your grandfather, your grandmother, your like a family member, or a friend, or a colleague. Find someone who can be a cosigner. But you see, the thing is, you want a cosigner to be somebody who has a better financial profile than you, a better credit score, right? Because it wouldn't make sense if you are at 350 or 400 in terms of FICO, and you actually add another cosigner who has a 375 FICO score. That doesn't make sense. So you want to find someone who understands also the implications, though, because there are implications of being a cosigner on a loan, for that matter, or car loan, or just a regular loan. So there are implications. So that cosigner really understands what he or she is getting herself or himself into. And then what you want to do is you want to check your credit score before applying, because the thing is, as I said before, if you're unemployed, you want to really cling on to a positive credit history, a positive credit score. So check your credit before applying, so you are clear about how you position yourself on the FICO spectrum. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about how to get a car loan without income proof. And the thing is that if you don't want the lender to actually ask for income proof, think about making a larger down payments. People talk about, 20%, 10% down payments. What about 30%? What about 40%? Because again, the lender is asking for income proof because he or she is scared about you defaulting on the loan, and then they might have to repo the car. And so for you to actually, if you want to reduce their fears, you want to make a larger down payments, and also you can try to leverage other income sources. For example, again, as I said before, it's important not to confuse income with employment. There are some people who are not employed but are making money, right? You have your money work for you. If you have passive income, if you're an investor, for instance, you can actually use your investment to pay for the car loan. To pay for the loan, right? And in some cases, you can use tax returns also. Yeah, those helps a lot. This is really cool to use tax returns so that you're able to say, okay, you know what? Even though I don't have a steady job right now, I still have employment anyway. You can also try to visit your local credit union because, see, the thing is, credit unions typically have more relaxed loan requirements than traditional lenders. So if you have an account with a credit union, find out if the credit union offers a car loans to unemployed borrowers. And a loan officer from the credit union can review your accounts to see if you have sufficient funds to cover the full loan amount. And so credit unions also typically offer better loan terms, which can help you avoid high interest rates. This is kind of cool. And also try to pay off other debts. See, the thing is, when lenders talk about your DTI, they pay attention to like when they review your loan application, they want to make sure that your DTI is kind of low. So we're speaking about having a DTI that is 25% or less. I mean, even if you are around 30%, this is fine also. So the DTI is basically the amount of money you make in comparison to the amount of money you owe. Very simple as that. And also trying to refinance after you get a new job. So if you take out an auto loan while you're unemployed, you probably pay a higher interest rate. But once you get a new job, you can refinance your loan to get better loan terms, like a lower interest rates and potentially a shorter loan terms. This is kind of cool. And one thing you also want to do, and what we think that really works for a lot of our clients, is that you want to compare auto lenders. So basically, car lenders you have a lot of car lenders in this industry right now. And what you want to do is it's always a great idea to shop for an auto loan. And you want to contact a few lenders and ask if they offer loans to unemployed individuals. And if the answer is yes, find out what the requirements are and what documents you'll need to provide. I mean, nowadays, it's just a lot easier to do everything online. Oh yeah, you have websites that you have those insurance aggregators that will help you out. And it's all about like going through the platform to find more about the car loan, and especially if you're unemployed, so that you can compare and contrast. So this is kind of cool. But if you want to go the old-fashioned way, that's fine too. You can just put in Excel all the pros and cons of each car letter that you are thinking about using, and then see which one is a lot better. And remember, if you default on your loan, there are consequences, including losing your vehicle. So before you get an auto loan, make sure you can pay the monthly amount without jeopardizing your other financial responsibilities. So this is really, really, really important. I want to give you a certain approach here. So when we talk about getting a car loan without income proof, it's important to understand that lenders evaluate risk in three ways when considering a loan application. So do a credit check, a background check, and income verification. So a credit check, background check, and income check. So you want to remove one of those considerations, and you should expect a hefty increase in fees to offset the added risks. So if you need to skip the income verification step of your application, you can expect a loan that looks very different from a traditional car loan. And the lender will actually look closely at your credit history and may scrutinize other aspects of your background check. And you may also find other hidden fees or rules in your loan paperwork. So this is an important element to think about. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about how to get a car loan without income proof. So if you want to get a car loan without income proof, you want to consider the following. You want to prepare actually a larger down payments. So usually, people want to stick around 20%, but if you have the cash, you can go to 40%, 50%, or even more. It's totally up to you. And you want to study your loan paperwork. So you want to make sure that you understand all the terms and conditions that are listed in the paperwork. Sometimes, the legal lingo can be a little too complex. So that's why you reach out to somebody who understands all the subtleties of let's say car loan paperwork. And you want to protect your best interest. So car dealers are in the business of making money and helping consumers. So to meet their sales goals, some dealers would change the terms of a deal on your loan paperwork before you sign it. So this could mean adding a higher APR and taking on fees, for instance, or changing the value of your trading vehicle or the price of your purchased vehicle. So I'm not saying here that they are dishonest, but hey, listen, they are in business, and it's all about you paying attention. You will be you'll be very careful about what you're getting yourself into. So that's the approach I want you to have. I want you to think about that. So purchasing a vehicle is a big deal. It requires a large investment in time, money, and energy on your part. It will have will leave you with a vehicle that will hopefully be a part of your life for a long time to come. So don't take this process lightly. If you stay diligent and keep your best interest in mind, you will end up with the deal that makes you happy now and in the long term. Let me talk to you about a bonus here. So, how can you get a car loan with no proof of income? And it's one of those things where going back to what I said, it's all about what? It's all about liquidity. So, if you don't have proof of income, you need to be able to prove that you have a steady income, a steady revenue that you can use to pay part of the loan. And one thing I want to say here is that you basically will have to talk to the lender directly, because every lender has different rules and regulations. You got to talk to the lender directly so you know you have a clear idea of what they're asking for. And because if they say, well, we don't need proof of income, so what do they mean? So what do they need really? So you need to have again, you have to show your last 3 years of tax returns, because the lender wants to make sure that you are compliant with U.S. tax laws. So they will ask you to provide your 1040 for the last 3 years. You might have to show your bank statements. So if you don't want to prove your income, you will need to provide your bank statements. And in some cases, they will ask you for other type of information. One thing I want to say here is that what will happen here is if you have no proof of income, but you found a car that you like, the lender will want to make sure that car is in their dealership, sort of the dealer's network. So for instance, you have a Capital One that maintains a dealer network, and a lot of players in the industry, they want you to really go through them. And so it's all about sort of solidifying the members. And one thing I also want to say is that you can certainly get a car loan without income proof, not a problem at all. It's all about how you organize things right off the bat. So you have to be a little mindful of that, because at the end of the day, you want to be approved fast, but to be approved fast, you need to respond to emails and real quick. And it's really possible to get a car loan with no proof of income at all. But you have to reply to phone calls. If the lender calls you, if the lender sends you an email, reply to email really promptly. Here's a winner for you. So what source of income do lenders accept? And the thing is, most subprime lenders want to see that you have between $1,500 and $2,000 in pre-tax monthly income to qualify you for low-income auto loans. So we're speaking here about what? $1,500 to $2,000. So that's about $18,000 to $24,000 in pre-tax annual revenue. So while this may seem like a lot of money, you could earn your income from several sources other than regular employment, including your regular government benefits checks, you have unemployment income, you have child support payments, you have alimony payments, you have a structured settled payments. You also have retirement income, Social Security income, investment proceeds, disability income, rental income. You have a student aid income. So those are really important things to think about. And one thing I want to say here is that you are constantly changing the game, the rules of the game. You're constantly thinking about what really works for you, what doesn't work for you. And one thing I want to say here is that lenders will work with you no matter what. And so you may need to show paycheck stubs to get a car loan. Yes, it depends on what the lender is asking for. Some lenders want to ask specific industries, for example. Some lenders do want to see a business plan for that matter. Yeah. There are some lenders who say, you know what, I've been actually reading this for the last few like if you apply for a car loan, let's say you apply for a car loan and you tried everything and you were rejected over and over and over. Maybe it's time to actually show that you do have some proof that you, for example, some car loan companies may take a look at your bank account, for instance. They may ask you for bank statements. That way you can actually prove that you have some revenue. And so if you are, the thing is, can you be denied for a car loan after pre-approval? Yes. You can be denied a loan at any point in the process before you're signing the loan paperwork. Your loan is only guaranteed once you and the lender add your signatures to the loan agreement paperwork. So it's important to really think about. So you may receive a loan pre-approval after a lender runs a solid, like let's say a soft credit check under your name. And so that gives the lender access to a limited version of your credit profile. And the lender will use this to see if you meet certain minimum requirements for approval. So this is kind of cool. And so if you decide to proceed with the loan, the lender will likely conduct a hard credit, this is a hard credit check before doing anything. Because they want to gauge your financial proof. They want to gauge your financial health before they do anything. Let me give you the extras here. So the thing is, if you're thinking about getting a car loan without income proof, and if you're lucky enough to be approved, you got to think about insurance. And so before you purchase a new or used car, you will need car insurance. You'll be unable to drive your new vehicle unless and until you provide proof of insurance. So every state has minimum insurance requirements, but you will typically vary coverage in terms of the states you want to look into. So a finance car, this is important. A finance car is not legally yours until you pay the debt off, which means what? It means the car has to have complete financial protection. And so full coverage insurance is the priciest options because it includes liability, collision, and comprehensive insurance. So a lender may not be in a situation where he or she is requiring full coverage insurance. If you buy a used car, so you want to call ahead and ask the dealership or seller what type of financing the insurance that they need for a new, you need for a new or used vehicle. So this is kind of important because you're trying to really go to the source of the info and asking the very smart questions. This is really, really cool. One thing I want to say here is that when we speak about extras in general, you have to understand that it's all about getting you the car loan that you need without income proof. And we're not speaking about small ass loans. We're speaking about loans that really start at around 30 grand or 40 grand or 50 grand that can really give you the amount of cash you need to get your company moving from point A to point Z. And one thing I also want to say here is that it all depends on the kind of studies you were able to do, that whatever you were able to whatever investigation you were able to have. This will be very, very helpful to you. And it's one of those things you want to really do this every now and then. But if you do it properly, you'll be able to have the proper insurance, for example. So when we talk about insurance, you may hear like 100, 300, and 100 in reference to full coverage insurance. So this number is equal to the coverage amount. So you have $100,000 for injury coverage, $300,000 for injury coverage per accident, and $100,000 for property damage. So this is really what it is. Overall, is how can you get a business loan with no income proof? Yes, you can. Definitely can. All right, let's quickly do a recap here. So in today's conversation, I was just talking to you about how to get a car loan without an income proof. And so I give you the overview, the steps, the approach, the bonus, the winner, and the extras. Thank you. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.